All right, last match of the day. Our 5-0 dreams are crushed. Let's see if we can even live those 4-1 dreams. Well, this hand's good enough, so we'll keep it. Spawning bed. All right. We're playing against the Eldrazi deck. Looks like it. That was a good draw. Matter Reshaper. I'm not going to Wild Slash that. Main deck Roast. Bummer. Thought Not Seer. Sky Spawner. Well, it's less intimidating. Crackback for 5 plus. I think this is fine. So we can crack Foundry now. Thinking about blocking the Matter Reshaper, but let's take this. So we can tap our flyers. All right, it's going to make things more difficult. Roast? No roast. Attack for 8. Basically let us kill him then. I don't get it. Don't even have to show him the Wild Slash. Alright, well, opponent screwed up there. So, Eldrazi.deck. What's our best tools against Eldrazi? Wild Slash does deal with Matter Reshaper, but not in a way I'm super comfortable with. Roast at least deals with the Thought Not Seer, deals with the Drowner of Hope. Seismic Rupture deals with Scion Tokens and Matter Reshaper. Does not deal with the Thought Not Seer, though, which we just have to assume he has. It also isn't going to deal... I think we got to have the Strokes for his 5-drop, because that card's just going to be tough. It also stops Drowner of Hope, but we probably want the Disdainful Strokes. Is he going to be playing the Dimensional Infiltrator? I think even if he is, I don't need Wild Slash for that, probably. Probably not necessary. Could just cut the Wild Slashes for the Strokes. See if that's enough. Negate for like Spatial Contortion is not necessary. Basically, Disdainful Stroke for Thought-Knot Seer, whatever the stupid 5/5 trample hasty dude is, and the Drowner of Hope. That seems okay to me. Let's do that. I have to mulligan the 0 land hand. Gonna keep this one though. Keep that on top. It's a nice top. Opponent's going first. Roast for days. I guess the good thing about multiple roasts is if he Thought-Knot Seer is exiling one, we play another and we at least get to draw. So it still ends up sort of being a 1-for-1. Oh, well. Looks like similar idea to us. Alright, did have the Thought-Knot Seer as expected. Probably hits roast, that's my guess. Otherwise we just kill that and draw. Disdainful Stroke, which I would like to leave up, but unfortunately he didn't see the stroke though, so he could play into it. Having no board presence just really does not play well, though, with Disdainful Stroke. Like, having nothing, just nothing, is really not going to work well for us. I think we have to play Vile Aggregate, much to my unhappiness, because it blocks the Thought-Knot Seer. I mean, I guess at least he doesn't have red mana. But, yep, I wish I could counter that. Problem is, if I don't counter that, he doesn't even have to play into it, so don't know what to tell you. It's not good. There's our land. Still can't attack. Yep. Disdainful Stroke would have been good. Take a metric ton of damage, be in bad shape. I think we're just dead. Cracks Foundry, taps everything. I have bad blocks. Game over. I'm at 9 too, so I have to do the absolute worst blocks here. Is that right? Seems about right. Got to do the worst. No plays even necessary. That's kind of the funny thing. Didn't even have to make a play there. Just doing a whole bunch of nothing. So, Disdainful Stroke just sitting in my hand doing nothing while he's just, you know, casting 5 and 6 drops like it's not even a thing. That's when Disdainful is the most frustrating, is when you have the means to do something crazy and you don't do it the whole game. It's really frustrating. It's like, if only I had a 2-drop so I could leave up Disdainful Stroke. That's why Hanger back alongside Disdainful Stroke is just so important, or else you just don't do anything. Like, Disdainful Stroke on the play is so much better. Maybe I just never bring it in on the draw, but the problem is it's so good in this matchup if I can just stick my lands. Boiling Earth. Surprised you showed me that. It's not going to change any decisions I make. I'm not going to bring in Negate for it. I mean, I guess I could. What am I playing Wild Slash for? Nothing? Bring in Negate for what? A Boiling Earth and a Spatial Contortion that we don't even know about? Really doesn't seem worth it. Guess we can do a Rupture, though. Doesn't seem great. Yeah, it's a keep. No counters this time, but we found a 2-drop, so it's gonna have to be good enough. If we top deck Disdainful Strokes, I would say we're in pretty good shape. That's a good draw. That is a very good draw. That was a good draw, too. So, I think we're walking into the Boiling Earth only because we have 3/4 drops. It just makes sense in my mind. Yeah. So if he Boiling Earths here, we still get to do cool stuff. I mean, we still end up getting a Thopter out of it, too. It's not that bad. He kind of has to do it. He doesn't have to, I guess, but he's pretty strongly motivated to do it. Like, if he casts Thought-Knot Seer here, he gets a Whirler Rogue. Still get a shot at, like... Alright. Vile Aggregate, on the other hand. Not hyper intimidating. We're blocking. Thopter Engineer number 2. Well, I mean, it survives. Boiling Earth. I'm trying to think what my other play is. My other play would be pump Hanger back, throw it at him, 13, attack for 4, 9. Which isn't bad. I think we're just going to play Thopter Engineer. Swing for 4, though. That's not going to be good enough. You're going all in, so you're just going to die. All right, well, I'll oblige you. All right, so I ended up going 4-1, which is good enough to get some good prizes. Got a booster, got 120 play points, so not horrible. And we got a qualifier point. Lost to a bad matchup. So there are some bad matchups, and like I was talking about during that match, it's so strange how similar those decks can be and how different the results can be. Because we already know Abzan Aggro, just worst matchup, straight up. Wingmate Rock is so good against us. Canva the First Tree, so good against us. Siege Rhino, great against us. All of their removal is just like Dramoka's Command. All of that stuff is just very, very strong against us. So that's just a tough matchup. Probably the worst one, I think, in the whole meta. Next, we've got the red-green Eldrazi ramp deck, which we were lucky we didn't have to play against this league, which is also just crippling because of Kozilek's Return. It's just so good against us, too. You know, World Breaker is great against us. The Reach, they can destroy an artifact when it comes in. It's just great against us. They play it so early that they can use it as land destruction, which is just brutal. So that's an awful matchup. The Goblin Merc Dweller version of the... So it's like a 4-color Mardu Aggro Abzan mix with Merc Dweller and Read the Bones. We are 0 for 2 against that deck, and I feel so out of that match. Both times I played against it, I never even kind of felt like I was winning. When we won game 1, it was only because he missed on lands for, I think, 2 turns. And even with the missing 2 lands 2 turns, he almost turned that game around. So that matchup is horrible. We do fare very well against a similar deck, though, in Mardu Aggro. We do great against the Mardu Aggro deck. That's like the Soulfire Grandmaster, Abbot of Carol Keep, or something similar to that version. We're great against Tatarka Red. We're, very good against... No one really seems to be doing the blue-green or green Eldrazi decks, but if anybody plays the non-red version... We're like close to 100% against that one. If 4-color Rally makes a comeback, we have a fantastic matchup against that. So there's good decks and there's certainly bad decks in the meta that we don't have the place that we used to where it was everybody seems to be playing 4-color Rally or Eldrazi, and then we were just crushing. Like we were crushing. We got 18 wins in a row. So I think we're just going to have to accept that this version of the deck is going to have its good matchups and its bad matchups. And, if I can go 4-1 every time, I'm going to be happy with that. That's certainly good enough. Having a 4-1 is not easy, especially with a budget deck. So very happy with those results. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.